Be the highway and me. We're all pals on account of you, dear. Every home I will see reminds us of thee. Stack of three, the highway and me.
The Soup Show.
David is an all-night diner on an American roadside in a town that you've never heard of, but you were glad to find.
All right. Well, I guess that's what the theme of the show tonight is. David Thomas. What a guy. What a humanoid. I would like to point out, though, that this was not my idea. And I'd like to point out that in the recent, one of the reactions to the recent podcast in which I was talking about their remix of Pennsylvania that's coming out in September, you know, one of the reactions was from some woman was, what a large, all in capitalization, ego. The one thing that really will upset me more than almost anything is being accused of having a large ego. Number one, this David Thomas show was not my idea. Number two, I only found out about these tribute sort of things this morning when Kirsty said, I don't know if you're going to, you know. Number three, I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. I'm not going to go out fishing for damn compliments, you know, playing the meek and measly average humanoid that I am. I'm not an average humanoid. I was born on Mars. I am the ambassador, the Martian Imperial High Command's ambassador to the planet Earth, in charge with the conquest of this planet. Okay? So, let's cut out this. And if you really want to know about my ego, take a listen to the thing that Keith submitted this morning. Just listen very carefully to that. Anyway, okay, that's all I got.
It was actually this afternoon, which is typical of Keith. He's always arrives really, really late and then delivers something brilliant, so you can't be cross with him.
Keith Molinay for you. I got to tell you that. Anyway, Kirsty, say hello.
Hello. The show was opened by Tony Franks' tribute to you. I think it's kind of nice because the only time the fans really get to meet with you is after a show when you're exhausted and you know 100 people are wanting to shake you by the hand. So this evolved because I put a call out for people to give me something about you, and it came in multiples. So I wanted to make it all about you and all about the fans and your colleagues speaking to you. And I'm hoping that the show does that. And the first video we're going to have is my tribute to you because, I don't want to get emotional. You gave me Bay City as my first CD. And this song was probably pretty instrumental in me liking you.
Yeah, well, it was the first song on that album, so I guess you had to like it or not. I don't know. Well,
anyway, I made it into...
At least you didn't say, it's a song about me.
Well, no, I don't think I've ever said... Well, you've said there's a song about me, which is Spooky and Irene. Goodnight, Irene, but whatever. Yeah, this is my... Don't spoil it. I'm trying to be nice. I did you a nice romantic video. I'm the most unromantic person ever, but I do like to portray romance.
All right, fine. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Here we go.
Those Beatles guys, they were pretty good. They were no David Thomas. David Thomas explores the outer limits of existence and what life means and brings it back to us with high energy in the form of music, life-changing music.
free. Someday I will be free. Someday. And somebody touched me. It was in a white room. I cried. I will be free. One day I will be free. Someday. And somebody touched me. In a white room. I cried. I will be free. Someday I will be free. One day. I will be free. One day I will be free.
Oh, yeah. All right.
There's a moment in that song where about 2/3 of the way through where there's a pause in the music and somebody laughs, and it's because it's a moment, and you were all just sitting in a room, were you, recording that all live?
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful song. Joseph Holc says,
I'd like to back on this subject
Okay,
of
okay.
ego, which is my theme today. If I had an ego, I wouldn't lead off that album with a song that's got two huge clunker wrong chords in it. You know, I would have done something. I would have fixed it. In fact, I repeated the song as the bonus track on it that has different clunker chords on it. Those chords are easy to fix. You know what? Never occurred to me to fix them. You know, I don't, all that sort of thing happens over and over in Perubu or my solo career where there's some clunker in there and it's part of the song. You know, I don't have anything to prove. I know it's a damn clunk. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
that's all right. I mean, I know that you don't have an ego, but I also know that there is probably nobody who knows the music business better than you, in a more critical voice. If you want to know ego, I watched BBC Sky Arts, whatever it was, last night, which was a review of Top of the Pops in 1979. And at 1979 in England, you had the Nolans on the same show as the Sex Pistols. And the Nolans said, and the Ruts were there, and I think it was the Ruts, and they admitted, as the Nolans walked past their dressing room, their disgust for being on the programme with the Nolans was so huge, they spat on them.
Yeah, wonderful.
David Thomas has never shown anything but absolute respect for everybody in the business, even those we all despise. He may talk differently about them in the pub, but he'll always shake them by the hand because he has a respect for their work. Anyway, that's me and my... You were called a misanthrope on on Twitter this morning.
Oh, it's called a misanthrope?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, wonderful.
You get called all sorts. It's quite
Oh,
amusing.
know,
I love
I'm
that
well
backdrop.
familiar with all the things I get called.
Most of them from me.
Anyway.
Martin says perfectionism and vision are often mistaken for having a big ego. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the point of the matter is what I've learned coming from a very corporate background into the rock business is if you don't have a big ego, you will be destroyed, basically. You will be destroyed.
Either that or you, like me, you just frankly don't care.
I have a very small ego.
My sister, who's taken over Uboutique, by the way, so be nice to her. She's just working her way in. We sent her some things, among which was a scrapbook, and she wrote back the next week saying, "You've been a huge success, haven't you?"
Because he never talks about it. He really doesn't. But yeah, no, you have to have a big ego, because if you don't believe it, nobody else will. And that was a very steep learning curve for me. I disagree
with this statement, by the way, but we're not going to bicker on air today. We're going to go on an entire 45 minutes from now on without any bickering.
Okay. Anyway, back to the important stuff.
Yeah, right.
I think we've got Alex coming up next, which we've not heard from Alex before, but this blew me away.
Are you sure?
Isn't it Alex? Who have we got next?
I don't know. We got Alex next. Yeah. I thought we'd heard from him before.
This is stunning, and right. I'm really hope we see more from Alex.
Well, and I have to again apologize for all this stuff about what a huge humanoid talent I am.
You know, take yourself out of it.
I am out of it. Okay, here we go.
Listened to David Thomas for nearly 43 years or so. But my favourite period is during the 80s with the Pedestrians and the Wooden Birds, and that was my favourite time.
Like the rain, so falls the blood. Like the rain, so falls the blood. Like the rain, so falls the blood. Until one day there comes a flood. One day we'll say, rain, rain, go away. The way it is bound to change. The way it is bound to change.
The music of David Thomas and Pere Ubu has been an important part of my entire adult life, if you can call it that. It's helped me make sense of the world, given me a lot of pleasure, and helped me laugh when the devil comes. Thank you, David.
Where is that Alex from?
I don't know. He just
Well,
sort of appeared.
Alex, if you're ever in town, let's do a recording. I like that.
It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's too bad he's probably somewhere far away.
And that was
And I'm not looking for a guitar player, but I like what you did.
Chris
Like your
Gillard
feeling.
and David D. Smith. David D. Smith has commented, I heard that the King of Mars fell to Earth and ended up behind bars.
Well, that was what we call poetic license.
Lynn Thomas has commented she's watching with all her friends in Brighton.
Oh,
So
hello,
say
Lynn.
hello to Lynn and all her friends.
Hello, Lynn,
And
and all your friends.
let's get straight into another guy who wishes he could be here, Adrian Burns. He's on family commitments tonight. But his passion for David Thomas music knows no bounds. And we have 2 lyric libraries from Adrian, and we have one from Chris Gaillard.
What's the name of this town? Hey, are you? With a duck on your head. What's the name of this town? What's the name of this town? What?
Nobody lives on the moon. People are never saying goodbye. Nobody knows. Nobody cries on the moon. People are never unhappy on the moon. Nobody knows. Nobody lives on the moon. I live on the moon. Nobody knows. I live on the moon. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
What's the name of this town? What?
Oh, je crains que le jour vient de très loin. Mon monde, dis-je, c'est mon monde, dis-je, à des kilomètres, à des kilomètres. Où va-t-il? Où va-t-il? Je vis sous la lune. Je vis dans une boîte sous la lune. Mes amis me regardent d'en bas au loin. Nous rêvons à des kilomètres, à des kilomètres.
What's the name of this town? What?
Busyness or idleness. My hands are katzenjammers, little kids, big hammers, grown men stir and stammer. Busyness is better than idleness. My hands articulated, complicated thoughts. My thoughts are complicated too. My hands are semaphores. Some semaphores are paradoxes. My hands are semaphores. Some semaphores are boxes.
What's the name of this town? Hey, are you?
Yeah, some semaphores are boxes. Yeah, that was the one. That was the song that took me from 11 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the next morning to record the vocal to. I just kept going over and over and over, and everybody was walking out and saying, "You got it 3 hours ago. You got it 7 hours ago." And I said, "Nope, nope, nope, we're doing it." Paul, by the end of the evening, was like, but he stuck in there. It was, anyway, what was I going to say? It doesn't matter.
Chris's French was good.
That's what I was going to say. My notion of French accents is not that good. I'm sure French people are going, "Oh God, another Anglo speaking, slaughtering our accent," But I thought that's not bad.
Well, every British student has to learn French from the age of 11. And then when you're 12, you get to choose. Well, you don't get to choose. You get given either German if you're really clever, Spanish if you're not so clever, and then Latin if you're really thick.
That's the way it was in America. You started off with French, and they said, you've got to take either French, Spanish, Latin, or I can't remember if there was German included. And I said, I'll do French.
Who chooses Latin? No, it was very much.
If you were going to go for a scientific background, which I was going for, but I had no interest really in.
Well, Dominique has just joined us from Paris, so he can tell us how that French was, but it sounded pretty damn good to me, better than I could do. So yeah.
I learned my French from Quebecois, who just said, "Well, speak it like a Southerner, so pronounce it like a Southerner would." And that worked out good, except when I got to France, everybody was saying, "Your accent's pretty terrible." And I thought, it was good with the Quebecois. Anyway, all right.
I'm going to race along because we're going to run out of time if we don't. And I believe it's Mr. Keith Molinet up next.
All right, let me find his...
I've been standing on stages with David for 25 years or more. And the reason why I keep doing this is because no matter what I do on stage, and David never tells me what to do, he only either tells me to do what I'm doing or stop what I'm doing. Those are the only two instructions I'm aware that David's ever given me. But the way David performs is that everything is framed differently every time you perform with him or you do a song with him. It's never the same. He makes you aware that the way that the music is framed is what's important. The content of the music, what I do, is almost meaningless. David will create the song in a different way every time. And that is why people keep working with him.
The kids in the neighborhood, they see me walking down the street. They say, "There goes old man Thomas. There goes old Weezer." Come on, man, I roll. Somewhere near, somewhere far, somewhere on the street, past a local bar. Shining me a kind of homey place. I go inside, show my face. I want a glass of foam. I got a heart of gold. I've got a heart of gold. I've got a heart of gold. I've got a heart of gold. You've got a heart of gold.
Oh, took me by surprise. Yeah.
I'm just really chuckling at Lynn sitting there with all her friends. She's making them watch you because it takes a little bit of bedding in, doesn't it? The David Thomas experience.
Yeah, well,
The more you drink,
better, more sense it makes. It's an old Mr. Stress Band line, Bill Stress.
anyway, the guy upstairs, I don't know, he's hammering cheese into the
I
floor
don't know.
or something.
Well,
So apologies if you can hear that, but hopefully you can't. But we're gonna go to one of my favourite Frenchmen, Mr. Joseph Holc, who is currently. Oh, please, can I shut
No,
the?
don't. No.
Oh my God, that guy is driving me crazy. All right, Joseph is in holiday in Italy, and he very kindly put this together. He's a wonderful artist in his own right, and this is Joseph's tribute to Mr. David Thomas.
Well, to me, David Thomas is a father figure, a winning number. Someone I trust, even if I don't really understand him. Scary danger. He's someone I don't need to understand. A mere mystery. David Thomas could be my boss. Drive to the sun, past the brittle bones of a moon-like world. It's a big country and the sunscared land. The wind howls through a winter of lies. It's a long way back down the road that everybody knows. It's empty now, but my eyes are framed in the rearview. Does the desperation show? Drive to the sun, he said, through a look that looks from far away. We've trailed our dreams behind us for days, like paper shredded by the force of our passing. It's a lonely road when tomorrow has got no home in yesterday. All the day goes rushing west. The thing so near what's catching my throat, and I can't explain. East is east, but west is west. Your golden arms I feel to test. East is east, but west is west. Your golden arms I feel. I know a road they say is the loneliest highway in the world. Have you seen it? It's as relentless as the hour of time, and just as unforgiving. Drive to the sun, he said, into the vanishing point. Cross a dry sea bed of cobalt blue, a tin can rusted salt and crusted lips. We face a mirror. We will never know what it was that has been lost from here. We will never know. All we can know is what we have lost instead, you and I. Drive to the sun, he said, as yet another ghost down casino forms through the shimmering heat. Think of all that existentiel claptrap that litters the days of our lives. East is east, but west is west. Your golden arms I feel test East is east, but west is best. Your golden arms I feel. East is east, la la la.
Well, now I know. Then we'll get Alex, whoever Alex was at Ward,
On guitar.
on guitar, and we'll get Joseph on backing
Vocals, yeah.
backing vocals. So we
Backing
got,
vocals, he says. Backing Joseph.
anyway. So, but I know that he doesn't live here, so we'll have to work this out. But hopefully, I'll be going back someday to my favorite French town, which I can't remember now. It's where Rodolphe Burger comes from, and hopefully someday we'll be playing the concert, one of the concerts that Rodolphe and I did, which is really quite wonderful. And Rodolphe is an immense talent.
Well,
Pleasure.
while we're talking Europe, I mean, I don't know when we'll ever get to play Europe again, but my wonderful European friends, we do have a solution now for getting European merchandise
Don't
to you.
mention it in case we want to change our minds, because we just decided on it last
I'm
night.
going to do it because,
All
I
right,
mean,
go ahead. All right, go tell 'em.
most European countries aren't giving a damn, and the parcels are getting through, but poor old Marcus had to cough up nearly the same cost of the T-shirt again to get
buy,
his.
If you live in Belgium, please don't buy.
And Berlin. I
In
mean, if
Berlin?
Berlin, yeah, they're
Not Germany.
no, Berlin have actually charging a customs clearance, and then they're giving it to DHL, who are charging a delivery cost. So we've been having them back, and we've had several lost, which is
Well, also you read something that 90% of it British businesses
has stopped selling to Europe, which we're not going to do, but we are going to try and source a distributor. We've got Pennsylvania and St. Arkansas in stock. So, yeah, if you want that, I'm going to make it happen for you somehow. I don't know whether the camera's on me.
Yes, it is.
Ugh. Well, for the first 10 people in England and the first 10 people in America, I can't find one now.
They're in there.
I know. Let's find. I just keep picking out the
Well,
ones
they're-
you haven't
then you're
signed.
going from the wrong
They're
end.
going to have.
They're
I
all-
found these in the drawer. Absolute mass of them. Apparently they're signed, but I can't see the signature. Anyway, the first 10 orders in the UK will get one of these, and the first 10 orders in the USA will have these. We're going to call it pre-order because, of course, we're not allowed to sell them until the 10th of September.
But we're going to sell them anyway.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're going to pre-order.
Oh, no, that's
but
what-
we're going to
no,
put them
wait.
in the post,
We're going to put them into the post.
but you're not allowed to open
But
them
you're not allowed to open them.
until the 10th of September.
12th, okay? Now, I know you're all going to go along with that. That's fine. But we're going to mail them right away because I hate damn pre-orders. It's a scam. But we'll mail them. You just have to promise that you won't open them
Yeah,
until
no.
September 12th.
Yeah, you're going to have to write to me because we can't put them on eBoutique just yet. But we will put an eBoutique pre-order up. And what else was I going to say? I was going to say we did
Let me
these.
get you. Oh, you're on the camera. Go
Look.
ahead.
Okay.
Well, that's a personal gift to me.
That's a personal gift to you, but I did do 20 of them. One has gone to Cleveland to a guy who has an apartment on the flats. So that is going to be hung up in the place where it was taken.
We'll be visiting you soon. Send you your address.
I've got 18 more if you want one. I don't know. Write to me, send me an offer. And the only other thing I want to say, because I don't really want to talk business all night, is YouTube. I've managed to up the 12-month average on YouTube by 200 hours in 3 weeks. We're thinking of doing 24 hours of a brick wall. All you need to do is go to YouTube and just press play and just keep pressing play all day, and you will help me out. We have to have 4,000 watched hours in order to monetize it. And the reason why we're doing that is because YouTube is monetizing us.
Yeah.
YouTube's getting all the money.
These ads that you see on our stuff now are coming not from us, they're
Nope.
coming from YouTube.
Absolutely.
So if they're going to make the money, damn it, we'll make it too.
So we need about another 2,000 watching hours, please.
Well, I was going to just pick my nose all day long, you know. But,
And that's an average. I mean, that means we have to get 2,000 within a 12-month period. So it's not like, I don't know, it's just disastrous and awful and whatever.
Well, I'll live broadcast myself doing my audio work, you know, which consists of me sitting here in front of this camera going...
Live broadcasts don't count. Any that are monetized don't count. It's all rubbish. But we will get there. And the joy of this damned pandemic has been reaching hands across the seas, as they say. And we talked to the Holy Soul.
Oh, is that a cue? Are you sure? We're starting to run it. We got 20 minutes.
We're going to run out of time if you don't just press that damn button.
We're going to have to sit. No, we're not. It's 20 to 8.
The Holy Soul video is 11 minutes long.
Oh.
This is what I was going to say. Rocket from the Tombs? Yeah, 3 minutes max for a song. Perubu? 4 to 5 minutes. David Thomas solo? You could go on for months.
Yeah, I do.
Here we go. So, you did a gig with David Thomas. How did that come about?
Well, I remember we were on our way to Melbourne to do a show, and I think it was about maybe December of 2009, and I got a text from my girlfriend saying that David was coming to town to do there was like a Hal Wilner show with lots of different singers. I think it was called Rogues Gallery. So it had like Todd Rundgren and Peaches and Marianne Faithfull and Gavin Friday and all these people. And I remember we were kind of on our way to Melbourne to play a show, and we started talking about how it would be kind of lame for, David to come to Australia and only get the chance to sing for 10 minutes. You know, we're like, well, we should offer him a show and be his band and things. All the while thinking that this was never ever going to happen. So yeah, so that's kind of why, we asked, and then I guess we're kind of shocked when it was actually happening, and we're like, oh shit, I guess we better learn a bunch of songs.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, what is that moment when David Thomas says yes? Because he very rarely says no.
I think it was a fair bit of like, okay, now this is happening. Like, awesome, but yeah, I found it a bit intimidating, but good.
Well, how much rehearsal did you have?
We practiced once together. I remember, actually, I don't know if you remember, Trent, when like right before we did the show, David sort of came over to our table and said, we're going to improvise a few songs tonight, and you're going to be terrified, and it's going to look real because it will be real. So yeah, that was, yeah. I remember
I was eating sausages and potatoes. I remember exactly that.
As usual with
it,
I hate rehearsing, so I can't remember. It was just sort of sit around, have a couple beers, and kind of run through some changes,
David has a reputation for being a bit of a perfectionist. So were there moments either during the gig or in rehearsal where you just thought, nah, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what he wants. I don't know where it's going. I just got to leave now.
Yeah.
There was a contentious version of Vacuum in my head, I think, where things looked like they were really precarious. But in the end, it just kind of, it kind of brought the audience into like this sort of moment where it looked like, is it all going to fall apart? And then there was this kind of tense middle section, and then it just kind of ended fine, which is, I remember, I think maybe, it ended up being a kind of, it can end up being good for the show. So.
Did you enjoy yourselves?
Yeah. I remember there was a review that I saw a few days later that said the audience looked like newly released hostages, which I kind of liked. Thought that was kind of fun, but.
No, I've never, people always ask me, was it enjoyable? And I always say, no, it wasn't enjoyable. Enjoyment has nothing to do with it.
you know, when you're done with it, when you're back in the hotel room or the dressing room and you're done, then you can go, oh, all right, you know, I dodged a bullet, you know, it went okay.
And what are your plans as a band?
Oh, we got one in the can. New album. All this will get old because we're getting old. It's recorded. It's been mixed.
Fantastic.
Hopefully coming out.
So which song would you prefer that I played after this interview?
Oh, which were the two? It was Man in the Dark and Bus Called Happiness. I don't know. I don't know if either of you have a preference. I'm easy.
Oh, I think Man in the Dark.
Yes, let's do that.
I dread the things people may know, the stories they fit me into. I dread the things that time only shows. I'm aware of the dark. I'm aware of the dark. Duck suit. I'm aware of the dark. No. I was laying there in bed, street lamps sliced by the Venetian blinds to appear as bars across our ceiling. We lay there locked in silence, but I knew there was a icy storm coming, brewing and being. Locked in silence like a frozen lake, the expanse between us was. And then she turns to me and she says, David, you will never be Brian Wilson. Now you men know what's coming next. It's an ugly, ugly scene. We lay there a little longer, locked in silence. I was staring at the bars of the prison of my ceiling. She turns to me, she says, David, you're always going, but you never leave. You're always leaving me, but you never go. Why is that? Badly we pass the time. We pace through our ages. We stare through the depths of our own separate cages, aware of the dark. I'm aware of the dark. I'm aware of the dark. I'm aware of the dark. Yes, yes, yes. I wear a dark suit. I wear a dark suit. Honey, it's just a pair of trousers and a jacket.
David Thomas. I heard him for the first time in Warsaw in Carrot Festival, Marchewka in Polish. And I can still hear his magic good night, good night, good night from that concert, of course. He's the music I love and have had in my heart for over 30 years. Thank you, Mr. David, and all the best from Reykjavik, Iceland.
Ah, okay.
Didn't get much further apart, could you, Australia and Iceland? Beautiful.
I always loved Iceland. I used to, back when Iceland Air was the cheapest way to do the transatlantic thing, I'd go there several times. I went there, and I arranged a show since you could stop over for free, and arranged a show. And the first time or the second, I can't remember. They hung a banner across the main street of Reykjavik. Welcome, David Thomas, and and the guy who was, I can't remember his name. He was in the Sugar Cubes. I can't really remember the Sugar Cubes. He was my sort of host, and he said, "Oh, do you want to go drop in on the Prime Minister?" And I said, "Ha ha ha ha." He said, No, she just lives over there. You can drop in and say hello, And I was staying at a sort of a bed and breakfast or something he'd arranged with a elderly Icelandic woman, and she offered me various Icelandic treats. Again, I've forgotten the names, and she offered me this one thing, and he said, "No, no, do not eat that." It was shark meat that they buried in the ground for 6 months until it went really putrid. Just ammonia, how things go putrid, and this was a great delicacy. And at this point, I couldn't refuse because she'd made a big stinking deal out of it. And he was going, "Don't eat that, don't eat it." I said, "Oh yeah, sure, I'd love to." And I ate it, and it was, as you can imagine. I'd probably eat it again, but at the time I was like pretty sick to my stomach, and she said, "Oh, did you enjoy it?" And I said, "Oh, it's very good. I don't want to spoil my appetite, though."
Peter Sage has joined us, and one of Lynn's friends who's watching, Angela Lewis Hall, says, "We think David's fabulous. We're sharing the love." So that's nice. Collaborations, I mean, there have been many, and there's some going on now, to be fair.
I'm always collaborating with somebody.
We've had an approach by a German guy whose name I can't remember.
Yes.
Seems to be very famous. It's a lot of views and stuff, so that's exciting.
Maybe I'll make some money. Ooh.
And the Rudolf Berger concert that I did the bus station video to, that looks like that's going to come out on vinyl next year, which is really exciting.
If you have a chance to go see Rudolf, I really, really, really highly recommend it. Wonderful, wonderful entertainer.
On tomorrow, I signed the contract for February the 11th. So we're looking for a very exciting gig there, and there may be some special guests. And one of the most brilliant collaborations you did, of course, was with the late, great Jackie Leven.
Yes, evidently there's a tribute sort of album come out, and they had asked me to contribute it to it, and I just couldn't. I love Jackie, and I feel totally, he had me guest on a number of albums of his, and I felt wholly inadequate every time, working with him. But working with it was a joy. The shows we did together were just, dare I say, magical. And I'm sorry I couldn't contribute to the album, but I just, Jackie Leven is one of these people that you just, in my opinion, for me, there's no point to me doing a Jackie Leven song.
Ian Rankin wrote a wonderful article for Jackie, I think it was last month, for The Guardian, so do Google that and take a read. And Ian is also on this video, sitting on the side. It's a DVD.
Do you remember what this video was from?
It was a festival. I didn't bring the DVD case, but basically it was the Meeting of Masterful Minds, or Meeting of Masterful Voices, and there's readings on it and everything. And I've ripped it because it was Sunday, and I could, and I did. I haven't found it anywhere on the internet. I'm hoping we're not going to lose our signal if it breaks copyright law. If Cooking Vinyl are listening, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And I think this probably expresses the point of who and what David and Jackie were together more than anything else I've seen, and I'll try to bring you some more from it if we get this through copyright. If we don't, thank you for joining us, and love you all, and we'll see you.
This isn't the outro, is it?
Well, it's just if we get taken down.
Okay, bye.
I told you we'd run out of time, so we're going to go with Jackie, and hopefully we'll get through the YouTube barriers. Go.
I'm sorry, it's rainy here in Brooklyn and I got caught in it. For me, David is the embodiment of what it means to be an artist in rock and roll.
Hey, this is Jasper, aka Burner Herzog, aka Smoke the Barbecue Guy, and I just want to say that ever since I stumbled on the night music performance of Breath on YouTube, Per Ubu and the work of David Thomas has really meant the world to me. It's something that I hold in the same esteem as 13th Floor Elevators or Sun Ra Orchestra, where it kind of gets at something deeper and more profound and mystical in music, and we're really lucky to have somebody like David to pull those things out to the surface for us. So salute to you, Mr. Thomas.
T is for Thomas. David Thomas.
Down by the river, gonna creeping. Down by my lover sleeping. Bad as it gets, getting worse. I wanna run, I had to learn to crawl. The house on fire, street is broken. I call for the Lord, the laws are talking. Bad as it gets, it's gonna get worse. I wanna run, I had to learn to crawl. This trip is the worst. I don't mean maybe. I call for the captain. She cries like a baby. Bad as it is, it's getting worse. I wanna run, but I It's time to leave and I don't know why. We were laying there staring at the way the light had been sliced by the Venetian blinds from the street lamps show as bars on the ceiling of our bedroom. Laying there locked in silence, staring at the metaphorical bars of the prison. Locked in silence, locked in silence. She said to me, David, you're always leaving, but you never go. You're always saying goodbye, but you never leave.
We know the feeling.
Why is that?
Oh, we're all the same.
Why is that? Why is that?
Talking to me.
Then about 4 o'clock in the morning, she turns to me and she said, and you husbands will understand this. She says, it's hard being a Brian Wilson fan. Baby, goodbye. Time to leave and I don't know why. Down by the river. Baby, good night. It's time to leave and I never know why. This song has become a prison.
We can stop now.
Oh, well, that gives me a good excuse to show you this sign. Whoops, press the wrong button.
And
Anyway.
we're still on air, so I will be able to bring you more from that DVD, which is exciting, because that was actually part of I think a 14-minute song that kept merging into other songs, and I think I started at a pretty good
I'd
point.
forgotten we ever did. I mean, I remember the various shows with him. We did some in Brighton, a couple in a small pub in Brighton that were just, as I remember, magical.
We have recordings, and we will get to them. I want to do a David Thomas and Jackie Leven
And
release.
just go out and buy his albums, you know, and if you don't like them, I'll give you your damn money back. You know, just, if you've never heard Jackie Leven, Songs of the Forbidden, oh God, I can't remember. Just
Google it.
Google it and just go out and buy them. Avoid the ones that I'm on.
Well, that was very special, and if you're part of the Collector's Room, you'll have had some collaborative tracks given to you this month, which was exciting, and I've got a few more to give you as well, and we're going to be back next week with an archive gig.
Is there another one next week?
Well, we've only done, this is only our second this month.
Someday, why don't you give me the...
It's just going to be a
Give
gig.
me the dates for the damn calendar.
Just
once
stop
in a while.
moaning. It's just going to be a gig. All we got to do is press
Well,
start
we're
and
out
sit
of the
there.
we're out of the hour, so I can go back to bickering with you.
Yeah, okay. Well, the more you bicker, the longer it is till you get dinner. So why don't you just sing goodnight and sing it nicely in a proper
What do you mean?
David Thomas voice? Not your good night, but a really
Don't
nice
tell
one.
me what to do. Just don't do it. No, I don't want to do it. I was going to do it. I was going to sing it, but no.
All right, well, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who's joined us. It's been a real pleasure putting this together. You guys saved my bacon because I didn't have time to do the show where I was going to just present David Thomas. Presenting you about David Thomas was a complete joy, and thank you to everybody who contributed. You will have noticed the guys speaking at the beginning of that video, including Mr. Angry Scott himself, with his classic Tears for Thomas, David Thomas. Thank you for that, Ian. And keep sending them, because it would be nice to do another one. I've certainly got lots more. I've got lots more footage to show. Well, you've got to take yourself out of it. I'm going to keep saying that to you.
I've taken myself out of it for 50 years.
Anyway, I got to go.
You're the one who's put me back in it.
I got to go and burn some chili mints. So
okay, that's good, because I like it nice and crunchy burned. All right, so good night. Good night. Good night. One more is there to say, but good night. We've had a few laughs. Now it's time for toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Good night. Good night. Good night. What more is there to say? Good night. Why don't you get in line with all those others whose lives I have ruined? Take your place at the back of the queue. So honey, I can think about you when it's time, not before. When it's time and not before. Musicians are scum. I thought I'd made this clear from day one. Musicians are scum.